You know what everybody really needs? A good holiday. Rejuvenate, refresh, come back strong, especially with what's going on in the world. And you know, we don't get to go on a holiday very often because, well, we spend our weekdays and weekends. Today is a Sunday, it's 8:30 in the morning and I'm about to drive a new car. But we like to do that because we enjoy that. But you know what? Everybody does need that holiday. But you know who did go on a holiday? The Audi Q5. Because when BS6 happened in India last year, Audi removed the Q5 from its lineup, removing the diesel engine altogether from play. But now it's back. And instead of putting on a few holiday pounds, it's actually gone to the gym, buffed up a little bit and become a little bit more fun. So let's spend our Sunday driving around in the facelift Audi Q5, shall we? Now, you know, the Audi Q5 in Audi India's lineup is actually a very, very important car, and not being there actually hurt Audi a lot because this segment is what a big chunk of their sales actually is, and not having this to compete with the likes of the GLC and the X3, which a lot of luxury car buyers actually like choosing and buying as compared to, say, an E-Class or an A6, really has hurt their sales. Now, it's good that it's back because a lot of people have been asking about the car, and the fact that it is now only a petrol actually doesn't hurt because a lot of luxury car buyers have migrated to that petrol engine, and the fact that it's just a 2-litre turbocharged unit also means that it isn't very bad on fuel economy either. But since we are PowerDrift, let's talk about the performance figures first because they are impressive. Now, essentially, this engine under the bonnet there is the same engine that you get in the Octavia VRS. So we all know that it can be quick. 0 to 100, 6.3 seconds. Top speed, well over 230 kilometers per hour. This is no slouch, and it begs to be driven a little hard, especially on roads like these little lovely inner Maharashtra rural roads, which we found an absolutely perfect piece of tarmac in the middle of absolutely nowhere. With the all-wheel drive Quattro system, which now comes as standard, you can have a hell of a lot of fun. But you see, fun is not what people will be having with the Q5, because at the end of the day, people will be buying this to be driven at the back there, chauffeur driven probably, and it is an Audi, so it is a little more comfort oriented, although of course you can have the fair bit of fun that I spoke to you about earlier. But in terms of overall comfort, it really outshines most of the competition. The BMW is a little stiff, the Mercedes is a little there, little here. This one, on the other hand, does, if you put into comfort mode, sort of settle down really well. It's nice and soft, it feels safe, it feels very Audi-esque, it feels very solid, very typically what you'd expect from an Audi. Just go about its business without making a bit of a fuss, quietly, comfortably. It's a great all-rounder. Yes, the steering might feel a little numb, but most of the time, you really wouldn't care, would you? Now, the person who does buy an Audi also wants that quality which Audi does bring to the table, and the Q5 is honestly no different. You have some choices in the interior color like this beige, which I'm guessing is going to be the more popular choice for Indian customers. But there is another brown, which we've seen on another test car here. We'll put some visuals right here for you. And that brown is considerably better looking, and it also looks richer and more premium. It just makes the car look a lot more expensive, and that's the one you should honestly get if you are speccing out your car. If you're going to just buy it off the showroom floor, I mean, this isn't bad, but it is conventional. It's a little boring for me personally. What I do like though is the big new 10.1-inch infotainment screen. This is placed right where I need it to be. You don't have to stretch out. It's really crisp. It's got almost this like bezel-less. You know what it looks like? It looks like one of those new age LED TVs that you would mount on your wall. And of course, the crispness and clarity in everything that Audi does, even with their digital instrument cluster, or even the UI on the screen, for example, is just so intuitive. So now that we've done quickly telling you how this car drives, let's, I think, pull over and talk about the changes on the outside, because in typical Audi fashion, the changes aren't very obvious for a non-car person, but there are a fair few changes which actually do come out and get noticeable once you spot them and once you know what you're looking for. And since we have all-wheel drive, let's maybe find something slightly off the tarmac, maybe on the beaten path, shall we? Let's go hunting for some nice trails. trying to figure out why I like the facelift look of the Q5 a little bit more, I think I finally have my answer. Normally when cars get facelifted, they get a little more glitzier, more trim, more trinkets get added on. Audi's done the opposite and removed stuff. So for example, that whole grille fuses into the headlight design element that they had now is gone. The headlights are a different unit, the grille is a different unit. The grille is larger, of course, but overall, I think Audi has got it really bang on. It looks larger, it looks more aggressive, it looks more muscular than before. And the fact that the bonnet doesn't align with the bumper, it's not sitting flush, it's got a little gap, a little bit of an homage to the Audi Quattro. And those 19-inch wheels, I think the overall design language really seems to work. Well done, Audi. Less is more. Seems to work every time, doesn't it? It's the Apple philosophy, I guess. Okay, so we've established a couple of key things here. One, it drives well with petrol engine. I mean, 250 horsepower, 249, yes, I know, is more than enough to get a move on, and it really does get a move on. 6.3 to 100, I mean, come on, for a family SUV, that's great. And we all know how tunable that engine is. If you want to fiddle with it, I'll just leave it as it is. We know it looks good, we know the interior quality is there, but do get that brown colored interior. I mean, it just looks so much better, especially with this blue exterior. And on the whole, I mean, there was never anything wrong with the Q5, right? And even if there was, it's now definitely been fixed. I mean, the infotainment's better, it feels nice on the interior, and I mean, yeah, I have my complaints about the fact that it gets no cooling seats, for example, which I think is just a must for a car in India. I mean, look, 10, 12 lakh rupee cars, 13 lakh rupee cars get it now. So I think this should have had it as a standard option. That said, I mean, look, it drives well on the road. It got us off-road through trails here with the Audi Quattro system. It's just a great, very sensible SUV. And although we don't have the prices yet, I think it's going to be just a little bit more expensive than what the diesel used to be. And at that price, it goes up against the likes of the GLC and the Volvo XC60, which has just been updated, and the BMW X3. And I think this is a very sensible option. And now I'm going to have a little vacation of my own because the grass is nice and tall, and I feel like calling out my inner Russell Crowe and Gladiator and walking through that glass with the Gladiator soundtrack playing in my head and my hands skimming the top of it, feeling like Russell Crowe. Subscribe, bell icon as always. Tell us what you think of the Audi Q5. I'm signing off for now.